It's time to welcome the most successful player at the ZrT Trackmania Cup. He is a defending champion. He has won it 5 out of 7 times. Once again in the semi-final, 8 times it's possible to qualify for semi-final, and it's the 8th time CarlJr is in the semi-finals. Carl, welcome back. Like I said, once we did the podcast, I will be bothering you, but this is your fault. Now you qualified once again. You're here again. So first of all, welcome, man. How is life?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm doing good. I qualified last weekend, so everything works perfectly for me right now.
Hmm. But if you go before the qualification, how sure were we actually once the Saturday started that, okay, I'm going to be one of the 8 players that qualify?
Oh, I had no idea. That was my objective actually to qualify. So it depends on basically who you play in the quarter finals. And I had an okay match. I didn't have the worst match, so I was confident at that point.
Hmm. But until the quarterfinal, is it like, do you feel any nerves or is it just fun until you really feel it maybe in the quarterfinal?
Nah, I'm always nervous. And yeah, before the tournament, I know there are a lot of good players, so I don't know if I'm able to manage to do top 8. But then you just focus on your own matches and you are like, okay, I can beat those guys specifically, and you just go with that.
Hmm. And if you look at the level in the quarterfinals or in the tournament itself, are you surprised by it in a positive way? Maybe you expected people to be better in a new game. How would you say that the level overall in the qualifications were?
The level overall was good. Like the level of the average player, there were like so many players registered for it. But the level at the top was a bit worse, I think, because a lot of international players didn't do it or didn't practice the maps enough. So I feel like a lot of the top players didn't, well, were not there at all. So it was a bit easier to qualify since these guys were not there.
Hmm. And if you look at the people in the semifinal now, 6 out of the 8 have already been in the semifinal before. Personally, I expected to see new faces up there simply because it's a new game and maybe some people took it more serious. But are you surprised by maybe some of the old names like you, Bren, Papu, and Aurel has basically been there every time now? But are you surprised that maybe it's not many new faces qualifying? Basically, only Sarah that maybe the community doesn't know too well.
Yeah, but Xeror already was in the quarter and we had the worst match last year. He was with me, Bran, and Matt and Rivo that we both did top 3 at the event. So they could have made it last year. So Xeror is not new at all. And I'm not really surprised that it's always us because we always put so much time and so much energy in that competition.
But let's get into now. On Sunday, it's going to be a new playoff. Now it's going to be online again. I mean, you won 2 online editions before, but since then, all the all the finals have been played offline. How do you feel now heading into the finals? Do you feel any nerves? Do you feel excited? What is your personal view about
Uh,
these finals?
Well, I really like to reach grand final now, so that's my objective to make the match one, to go through the match one, and after it's a bonus. So if I get a podium, it's a bonus. But right now, my main objective is just to go through my semifinal. That will be extremely difficult because of the players that are there. But yeah, like I never aim for the win when I play. I just I always try to reach the next step, and once I'm in the grand final, if I am, hopefully, then I just do everything I can to win it.
Hmm. And if you look at your semi-final, I think people see that as maybe the harder finals. It's you, it's Gwen, it's Bad Lulu, and it's Yannick. If you look at those 3 players, who do you see as the strongest contender to maybe knock you out even of the tournament?
Well, it depends on the map pack, obviously, because it has always been like that. Bad Lulu already beat me in the tournament. He really he beat me by a lot in the round I played, so of course he can beat me again. Gwen did a sick performance in his quarterfinal, so then again he can do that again, and if he does, well, he'll win the whole tourney. And then you have Yannex, who's extremely good on some maps that can go through as well. And I have some good maps and some bad maps, so it really depends on the map pack.
Hmm. And if you then look at maybe the player field overall. If you had to name one contender for you, maybe one player that maybe take the throne away from you, who would you say is your personal favorite to actually win it besides yourself?
It's tough to say. It's between Bren and Gwen. I would go for Bren because he has the experience and he knows how to drive those grand final. But then again, if Gwen plays like he did, he'll win the whole thing. That's for sure.
You have won it 5 out of 7 times. You've then been basically up the top of every single event since the start. So if I ask you this, how secure have you been previous years to actually win it compared to how you feel about this year? Let's say last year, were you more confident about winning, or are you more confident this year? How would you compare this year compared to other years before you get into the
Well,
final?
last year we were so confident because it's dual mode and on paper we were the top 2 players. So like even if we failed so hard, I think we could still have won it. So last year I was so confident because I was with Bren. 2 years ago, there was that new trial map against Bren. On paper, I wasn't the best, but I did what I could in the grand final and I managed to win it. So right now, my confident, my I don't know how to say that word in a noun, but whatever. It's like probably at the same as 2018. I know I'm not the favorite on paper, but I'll give my best to reach the top again.
Thank you so much for stepping up, and don't be surprised if next week I will call you again. Maybe hopefully like it was in Strasbourg, a winning interview, maybe like in Lyon doing a 4 a.m. a winning interview. But thank you so much for stepping up, and good luck once again in a ZrT Trackmania Cup final.
Thank you so much.